about to tell you another story about one of the experiences that my brother Joe and I had in our travels. This particular trip was to London and Paris, two of our favorite places to visit. Um, the first trip I think we took, uh, Joe flew directly from Detroit to London. I flew Phoenix, New York, London. Unfortunately, without much thought, we landed in different airports, the two big airports in London, and they're, one on the west side, one on the east side. It was a sheer miracle that we were able to find this hole in the wall that we were staying at. I think this is one of those places where Superman used to change into his costume. In any case, this particular trip, we realized that we were going to have to fly together. Joe's son Jim had done some research and he found a real nice hotel, an excellent room, located very close to the airport. So there was a short cab ride, I think, in. However, once we got settled, we realized that it was a major trip via bus and underground to get to the areas of interest. So we dug around a little bit and we found a very nice place in the business district of London. I think it's called like Oxbow or something like that. And it was much closer to the areas of interest like St. Paul's Cathedral, Windsor Castle, the Houses of Parliament, watching the guards change, that kind of thing. So on this particular day, we got on the channel. We went to Paris. We had a real nice day in Paris. Came back. Yeah, we're in our room, kind of relaxing from the day, and hungry. I looked out of the second floor room that we had in catty corner across the intersection was a classic British pub, Hound and Claw or something like that. And I, motioned over to Joe. Hey, take a look at this. You want to go get a beers and fish and chips? Sure. How can we be in London or in England without getting fish and chips? Exactly what we did. Walked across the intersection, sat down. Nice little bar, and fairly crowded, but quiet. So we ordered a pitcher of beer and some fish and chips. It's delivered, rolled up in a newspaper, and the paper's all greasy from the French fries, but it's classic and very good. While we're enjoying the meal, a couple of very pretty young girls, maybe mid-20s, came in and sat down at the table, possibly 20 feet away from us. And I looked over at Joe and I said, you want to go over and meet those girls? And he kind of looked at me and said, well, why not? But, I'm in my late 60s, Joe's in his 70s. I'm about 320 pounds in those days. Joe's a lot lighter. And, I don't want to come across like some, brash or Yankee. So I called the waiter over and I asked him, would it be appropriate or inappropriate if we offered those girls a drink and see if we could join him? And he says, no, that'd be fine. So he went over, brought him a couple of glasses of wine and pointed over to us. And the girls kind of said, yeah, come on over. So we did. We moved over, brought our drinks, and we chatted for probably a good half hour. And it turns out that they were two girls that lived on the different ends of London. They had met in business school and had taken jobs at some office right in this area, this kind of business section. And they would probably stop a couple days a week and have a glass of wine, catch up with, recent boyfriends, or whatever young girls talk about. And then they would kind of say their goodbyes and get on the underground and go to their respective ends of London. And so, we talked about what we did, gave them a geography lesson in the colonies from where we lived, and the kind of work that we did, and a little lowdown on our families, and had a real enjoyable visit. One of the girls had visited Chicago. She either had friends or relatives and had a stay, and she said she walked away with a very nice impression of gangsters. She says they're just nice people. I'm so glad. So it turned out to be a very enjoyable thing. As the girls were getting us, as we do have to leave. Uh, it was so pleasant. I left, I looked at him and I says, this is the kind of thing that makes me think that maybe we made a very big mistake in 1776. And we got a smile from them, and they left. And I remember we sat down back at our table. We finished our drinks, and we both said that that was a real nice thing, and enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy listening to this as much as I enjoy telling it, and it's the kind of thing where I'll glance up eyeward, eyes to the sky, and think about Joe and tell him thank you for bringing these kind of experiences and memories to me. Thank you very much, folks.